discuss the topic combinatorics, mathematical induction, principle of mathematical induction. Let P of n be the proposition or statement over the non-negative integer, then P of n is a tautology if P of 1 is true and P of n plus 1 is true whenever P of n is true. Principle of mathematical induction, strong induction. Let P of n be the proposition or statement over the non-negative integers. Then P of n is a tautology if P of 1 is true whenever P of 1, P of 2 and so on. P of n are true. P of n plus 1 is also true. Prove that 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus n is equal to n into n plus 1 divided by 2 for all positive integers n is true using mathematical induction. So the P of n is we denote it as a 1 plus 2 plus 3 and so on n equal to n into n plus 1 divided by 2 be the given mathematical statement. Assume that n equal to 1, so that is P of 1 is equal to 1 into 1 plus 1 divided by 2. So that is equal to 1. So first one number summation is equal to 1. So that is P of 1 is true. Let us assume P of n is true to prove that P of n plus 1 is also true. So here you can cross check that P of 2 also. So that will also satisfy first two number summation. So using this formula, it will also satisfy. So that means P of 2 equal to 2 into 2 plus 1 divided by 2. So that is 2 into 3 by 2. So 2 cancel, you will get 3. So first two number summation is 3. So P of 2 also true. So now for P of n, let us assume P of n is true. We have to prove for P of n plus 1. So that is add n plus 1 both sides of the given statement. That is you get as a 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus n plus 1. So here n into n plus 1 divided by 2 plus n plus 1. So here take n plus 1 as a common. So remaining number in the first term as n by 2, second one as a plus 1. So that is in the second inside the bracket, take LCM, you will get as a n plus 2 divided by 2. Then this n plus 2 you can write as a n plus 1 whole divided by 2. So here for P of n plus n also true. So it is in the form of P of n. So P of n is what? N into n plus 1 by 2. So for P of n plus 1, you should have to rewrite in the form of n plus 1 into n plus 1 whole divided by 2. In that form, if you write, we can claim it as a statement is true. So using mathematical induction, prove that the statement, the sum of the squares of the first n natural number is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6 is total. So that is first n numbers square summation is equal to n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6 as a tautology. So that is P of n equal to 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus and so on n square. So n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 whole divided by 6 as a statement. So for this n equal to 1, that is substituted in the formula, you will get 1 into 1 plus 1 into 2 into 1 plus 1 whole divided by 6. So simplify, you will get value 1. That means first one number square summation, that's equal to 1 only. So for this, you can try it for P of 2 also. So that will also satisfy. So for the usual mathematical induction, that is not necessary. So let us assume that P of n is true. So P of n is assume it as a true, and we have to prove for P of n plus 1. So that means we have to rearrange the P of n form, the P of n plus 1 in the form of P of n. The structure will we have to write it. So that is n plus 1 square, add it in the series both sides. So that is right hand side. That is n into n plus 1 to n plus 1 whole divided by 6 plus n plus 1 whole square. So here take it up n plus 1 as a common and remaining numbers n into 2n plus 1 divided by 6 plus n plus 1. So that is inside bracket take LCM as a 6. So that is multiply the separate term by 6, you will get as a 2n square plus n plus 6 into n plus 1 whole divided by 6. So that is you will get as a 2n square plus 7n plus 6 whole divided by 6. So that numerator equation factorize it. That is you will get 2n into n plus 2 plus 3 into n plus 2. So that is 2n plus 3 into n plus 2. That is you will get. So this one you can rearrange it in the form of n as a n plus 1. So that is first n plus 1. So that is n plus 2 you can write as a n plus 1 plus 1. Next to 2 times of n plus 1 plus 1. So that is you can compare with the formula for p of n. So that is n into n plus 1, 2n plus 1 whole divided by 6. So that way you can write p of n plus 1. So hence p of n plus 1 is also true. So prove that 1 divided by 1 into 2 plus 1 into 2 into 3 plus 1 divided by 3 into 4 plus and so on 1 divided by n into n plus 1, that's equal to n divided by n plus 1. Prove it by mathematical induction. So the p of n is equal to 1 divided by 1 into 2 plus 1 divided by 2 into 3 plus 1 divided by 3 into 4 plus and so on 1 divided by n into n plus 1, that's equal to n divided by n plus 1 is a given proposition. So that is substitute n equal to 1. So you will get 1 divided by 1 plus 1. That is 1 by 2. So that is first one number summation. So it satisfies for p of 1 is true. So that is for p of n, assume it as a true and prove that p of n plus 1 is also true. So that is add 1 divided by n plus 1 into n plus 2. The next term of the series, add both sides. Okay, so that is 1 divided by n plus 1 into n plus 2, add both sides and simplify. So that is right hand side, we have to simplify. That is n divided by n plus 1 plus 1 divided by n plus 1 into n plus 2. So that is 1 divided by n plus 1 as a common, remaining you will get n plus 1 divided by n plus 2. So inside bracket we have n plus 1 divided by n plus 2. So for that take LCM, that means n multiplied with n plus 2. So you will get n square plus 2n plus 1 divided by n plus 2. So that is you can write as a n plus 1 whole square. So that is the n plus 1 numerator and the whole square, and the denominator we have 1 n plus 1. That simplify you will get as a n plus 1 divided by n plus 2. So that is you can write as a n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 plus 1. So as per the formula p of n, nth term is n divided by n plus 1. So here n plus 1, p of n plus 1, we rewrite the same structure, that is n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 plus 1. So hence, so the statement is true. Using mathematical induction, prove that summation I equal to 1 to n, I into I factorial, that is equal to n plus 1 factorial minus 1. So we have to prove this statement by mathematical induction. So it may be written as the series form p of n is equal to 1 into 1 factorial plus 2 into 2 factorial plus 3 into 3 factorial plus and so on n into n factorial, that's equal to n plus 1 factorial minus 1. So assume that for n equal to 1, so that is p of 1 is equal to 1 plus 1 factorial minus 1. So that is 1 plus 1 is 2 factorial. So 2 factorial minus 1. So 2 factorial is what? 2. 2 minus 1, that's equal to 1. So that is the first term. So first term is what? 1 into 1 factorial, that's equal to 1. So for this also, we are getting value 1. So hence the statement is true. For p of 1 is true. So we have to assume p of n is true, and we have to prove for the statement p of n plus 1 is also true. So that means the p of n plus 1 should rewrite in the form of p of n. Okay. So that is the left hand side series. You have to add up the n plus 1 into n plus 1 factorial. Similarly, right hand side, the same value you have to add up. So here, right hand side, the simplification. So you have to see it. That is in both the term, two terms are there. That is n plus 1 factorial. So the n plus 1 factorial, take it as a common. So that is first term, second term as a minus 1, third term as a n plus 1 into n plus 1 factorial. So that is first and the last term, take n plus 1 factorial as a common. So there remaining you will get n plus 1 plus 1. Okay. So the first term, after taking n plus 1 factorial as a common, remaining you will get value 1. That's what they have added as a n plus 1 plus 1. The close bracket minus 1. That minus 1 separately they have put. So that is n plus 1 factorial into n plus 2 minus 1. So that is n plus 1 factorial into n plus 2 is, you can write as a n plus 2 factorial. That is minus 1 as it is. That n plus 2 factorial you can rewrite as a n plus 1 close bracket plus 1 close bracket factorial. So that is in the form of p of n. So the p of n is what? N plus 1 factorial minus 1. So for p of n plus 1, similar thing we can write as a n plus 1 factorial minus 1. So here in one place, the third step, n plus 1 factorial into n plus 2 as a n plus 2 factorial. So that is think like a number. 3 factorial into 4, that is nothing but 4 factorial. That's what they have mentioned like that. So hence the statement is true. So prove that 7 power n minus 2 power n is divisible by 5 using mathematical induction. So that is p of n equal to 7 power n minus 2 power n divisible by 5. So assume that for n equal to 1, so that is p of 1 equal to 7 power 1 minus 2 power 1, that is equal to 5. So which is divisible by 5. So the statement is true for n equal to 1. So for n equal to 2, for understanding and giving, so otherwise this one is not necessary. Okay, so for n equal to 2, you'll get p power 2, that's equal to 7 square minus 2 square. So 7 square is 49, then 2 square is 4, so that is 49 minus 4 is 45. So 45 divided by 5. So 45 is automatically divided by 5. So hence p of 2 is also true. So let us assume p of n is true and we have to prove for p of n plus 1. So that is 7 power n minus 2 power n is divisible by 5. Assume it as a true statement. We have to prove for p of n plus 1 is also true. That is 7 into that 7 power n plus 1 minus 2 power n plus 1. Rewrite as a 7 into 7 power n minus 2 into 2 power n. So that 7 you can write as a 5 plus 2 into 7 power n minus 2 into 2 power n. So that is that 5 plus 2 separated multiplied by the 7 power n. So you get as a 5 into 7 power n plus 2 into 7 power n. So the last two term take 2 as a common. Okay, see that is 7 power n minus 2 power n. So that is second term is what in the form of p of n. So that is inside the bracket p of n. So which is divisible by 5. Multiplying by 2 also divisible by 5. So the first term is what? 5 into 7 power n. Okay, 7 power n, whatever it may be, that is multiplied by 5. So hence that's also separately divisible by 5. So hence that the 7 power n plus 1 minus 2 power n plus 1 is divisible by 5. Okay. So that is p of n plus 1. The statement 7 power n plus 1 minus 2 power n plus 1 is divisible by 5. Okay. So for mathematical addition, the statement is true. Prove that 3 power n plus 7 power n minus 2 is divisible by 8 for all n greater than or equal to 1 using mathematical induction. So let p of n is equal to 3 power n plus 7 power n minus 2 is divisible by 8. So that is for n equal to 1, we have to check whether it is divisible by 8. Okay, so that is when you substitute n equal to 1, you will get 3 power 1 plus 7 power 1 minus 2. So 3 power 1, 3, 7 power 1, 7. So 10 minus 2, 8. So 8 is divisible by 8. So p of 1 is true. So for understanding and giving for n equal to 2. So that is p of 2 is equal to 3 square plus 7 square minus 2. So 3 square is 9 plus 49 minus 2. So that is 56. So 56 is divisible by 8. So then p of 2 also true. This is only for understanding. So for mathematical induction, n is 2, 3, those things not necessary. So let us assume p of n is true, and we have to prove for p of n plus 1 is also true. So that is p of n is what true? Which statement is true? 3 power n plus 7 power n minus 2 is divisible by 8. So for p of n plus 1, that is 3 power n plus 1 plus 7 power n plus 1 minus 2 is divisible by 8, we have to prove. So that is that 3 power n plus 1 we can write as a 3 into 3 power n plus 7 power n plus 1 we can write as a 7 into 7 power n minus 2. So here this 7 you break it as a 4 plus 3. 7 into 7 power n, that is 7 break it as a 4 plus 3 and separate it as a 3 into 7 power n plus 4 into 7 power n, like you break it. And the minus 2 make it as a minus 6 plus 4. And minus 2 make it as a minus 6 plus 4. So here you will get as a minus 2, because of that no value change. So combine it, the value first term, second term, and fourth term. Take 3 as a common. Okay, understood? First term, second term, next third term. In that, take 3 as a common. You will get 3 into 3 power n plus 7 power n minus 2. Remaining things, combine it, you will get that is 4 common, 7 power n plus 1. So the first term 3 into 3 power n plus 7 power n minus 2 is nothing but p of n, 3 times of p of n. So that is divisible by 8. So directly you can put it. So that 4 times of 7 power n plus 1 we have to see. That means 7 power n plus 1. So when n equal to 1, what will happen? Okay, n equal to 1, we'll get 7 power 1 plus 1. So 8. So divisible by 8. So next, what is that? 7 power 2. So 7 power 2 is what? 49. So 49 plus 1, what is that? 50. So 4 into 50, 200. 200 is also divisible by 8. So hence 7 power n plus 1 is divisible by 8. Okay. So hence the p of n plus 1 statement is true. So hence the mathematical induction, the statement is true. Prove that n cube less than 2 power n for all n greater than 10 using mathematical induction. So p of n equal to n cube less than 2 power n be the given proposition. Since n greater than 10 greater than equal to 10, assume that n equal to 10. Starting point is n equal to 10. So here it is not a starting point 1 or 0. Okay, so start with starting point n equal to 10. So from the value 10, say 10, 11, 12, those things only the statement is true. Which statement? N cube less than 2 power n is true. Okay. So that is for first number n equal to 10. Substitute in this given formulation. That is 10 cube. That is value 1000 and 2 power 10 as 1024. So satisfies the condition. Okay, 1000 less than 1024. So that implies 10 cube less than 2 power 10 satisfies the condition. So for 11 and so on, the statement is true. So for understanding for n equal to 1, next term we have checked, that is p of 1 is equal to 11 cube. 11 cube is nothing but 1331 less than 2 power 11. So 2 power 11 is what? 2048. That means 1024 multiplied by 2. That is 2048. So obviously 1331 less than 2048. So hence p of 11 is also true. So for understanding this given. So next assume it for p of n is true, and we have to prove for p of n plus n is also true. So that is the given equation. It is in the form n power 3 less than 2 power n. So that one we take it up. So that is for that this understanding 3n square plus 3n plus 1 less than 3n square plus 3n square plus n square. Okay, so automatically 3n square plus 3n plus 1 automatically satisfy less than or equal to first one as it is the 3n, instead of that 3n square, instead of 1 take it as n square. If you put it automatically right hand side value is greater value. So that is equal to 10n square. So here 10n square. Okay, so instead of 10 we have to put as a n. So that is n cube. So that means less than 2 power n. So as per the given case, that is less than 2 power n. Given p of n we are using. So for that actually that n plus 1 whole cube take it up. That is n cube plus 3n square plus 3n plus 1 expansion. A plus b whole cube expansion. A cube plus 3b 3a square b plus 3b square plus b cube. For that they are taking. So the n cube, as per the P of n, we are writing as a 2 power n. So the remaining 3n square plus 3n plus 1, prior that the calculation is given, that is also less than 2 power n. 3n square plus 3n plus 1 also less than 2 power n. You can write. That is less than 2 power n plus 2 power n. So that is 2 into 2 power n. So that's equal to 2 power n plus 1. Okay, x plus x, consider 2 power n as a x. So x plus x is equal to what? 2x. That's what it is mentioned as a 2 into 2 power n. After that, both the two group, base 2, so we can add up as a 2 power n plus 1. So that is n plus 1 whole cube less than 2 power n plus 1 we are getting. So hence, p of n plus 1 is also true. So now a few more concepts and problems in the permutation and the combination. So product rule, if an event can occur in n ways and another event can occur in n ways, then two events can occur in n cross n ways. So here two events are independent events. So occurrence of the first event will not affect the occurrence of the second event. There we have to use product rule. Next to sum or summation rule. If an event can occur in n ways, another event can occur in n ways, and if there are two events cannot occur simultaneously, then one of the two events can occur in m plus n ways. Okay, so that means here we have to apply the summation rule. So the two events here, the two events cannot happen simultaneously. So at a time, only one event. Okay, so for that happening of these two events, m plus n ways it can happen. So here permutation, so the ordered selection or arrangement of R objects from a set of n objects is called the permutation. So selection and arrangement is called the permutation. It is a P of n comma R, otherwise NPR. So permutation without repetition. If all the elements are distinct and repetition is not allowed, then the number of permutation is P of n comma R, that is NPR, that's equal to n factorial divided by n minus R factorial. If n equal to R, that is P of n comma n, that's equal to n factorial. If n less than R, so this case is not possible. So for that, the permutation is 0. So the permutation, generally you have to know that is selection and arrangement. Selection and arrangement. So that is, you can take the usual simple example. So if we have three letters, A, comma, B, comma, C, three letters. So from that, take two letters at a time and arrange it in an order. So how many different permutation you can make? So A, B, C, three letters available. We are picking two letters and arrange. Okay, I mean how many permutation you can make at a time? Two letters. So permutation. So permutation is nothing but selection and arrangement. So here selection, if you take up A, B, two elements, two letters. So after selecting, you can arrange it in the two ways, A, B, B, A. So two different permutation. Okay, so on so on we can calculate other permutation. So that means using the formula, three letters, three objects, we are picking two objects. So that is 3p2. So as per the 3p2, 3 factorial divided by 3 minus 2 factorial. So that is 3 factorial divided by 1 factorial. So there is nothing but 6 is the answer. 6 different permutation you can make it. So permutation with repetition. So when repetition of n elements contained in a set R elements, R elements are repeated. So such a case, the number of permutation is n power R. Restricted permutation. So the number of permutation of n different objects or at a time in which k particular objects do not occur is P of n minus k comma R. So we have n objects. In that n objects, k particular object should omit for the permutation. So for that permutation is, that k should remove from the number of objects. That is P of n minus k comma R. And the number of permutation of n different objects are taken or at a time in which k particular objects which always occur. Okay, so that means k particular object should compulsorily there in the all the permutation. So that case the permutation will be P of n minus k into R minus k into P of R comma k. Okay. So permutation in the total and the permutation themselves. So these we have to take. Next, permutation with like elements. The number of permutation of n objects of Q1, Q2, Q3 are alike, which are like elements. So for that permutation will be probability of n comma Q1, Q2, Q3, and so on Qr is equal to n factorial divided by Q1 factorial into Q2 factorial into Q3 factorial, and so on Qr factorial. Next, circular permutation. The arrangement of the objects in a circle is called the circular permutation or cyclic permutation. The number of arrangement of n objects in a particular permutation is n minus 1 factorial. N minus 1 factorial. So now combination topic. So that a combination is an unordered selection of R objects from a set of n objects is called the combination. It is denoted by C of n comma R. So unordered selection is that n unordered selection. So only this one you can understand something like that. Selection. Okay, arrangement is not a matter. So similar example you can take it up as a A, B, C, three elements, select two elements. That means A, B, B, both the same selection. Okay, so you cannot consider as a two different selection. So you can understand. So permutation is selection and arrangement. Combination is selection only. So here combination without repetition, that is MCR equal to n factorial divided by R factorial into n minus R factorial. So combination with the repetition is allowed, that is C of n plus R minus 1 comma R, that is n plus R minus 1 factorial divided by n factorial into n minus 1 factorial if repetition is allowed. And restricted combination, the number of combination of n different objects taken R at a time in which k particular objects do not occur is C of n minus k comma R. That means the combination k particular objects omitted for the combination. That means from the total number of objects, remove those k objects and find the combination. Next to the number of combination of n different objects taken or at a time in which k particular objects which always occur in the selection is C of n minus k comma R minus k. Okay, here only the combinations. Okay, so that means k objects in the R objects. Okay, taken R objects in that k should be smaller than R. That compulsorily in the selection. So hence it can be done only one way. Okay, so that a separate combination not necessary for k. Okay, like permutation n or k not valid. Okay, so now permutation problem. So in the problem, this concept how to be applied. So we can understand. So how many string of length the 4 can be formed using the letter of the word clever. So that is n equal to 6. 6 letters are there. We are picking 4 letters at a time. 4 letters at a time. So how many different string of length? Otherwise, they can use the word. What is it? From the 6-letter word flower, 4-letter word with or without meaning. Such a word, when you form it, how many different combination you can make it. So here no letter is repeated. See it, all the letters are different. That means F, L, S, O, W, E are all distinct. So there is P of n comma R, no any trick in this problem. So it's n factorial divided by n minus R factorial. 6 factorial divided by 2 factorial, simplifying will get that is 360. So how many 9 letters word can be formed by using the letter of the word difficult? Okay, 9-letter word here with or without meanings. Okay, so it is not in the theoretical form. I mean the English literature form. So don't think like this. So actually they mean it as a without meaning. Okay, without meaning, form the 9-letter word from the word difficult. Okay. So here some of the letters are repeated. So that means I repeated, F repeated. Okay. So other things are ones. Okay. So see that the given word has 2 times I and 2 times F. remaining D, C, U, L, T are once it is coming. So total 9 letters are there. So here, without any restriction to find the permutation, that is 9 factorial. Okay, without any restriction, that is 9 factorial. Here, two letters are repeated. So that formula P of n comma Q1, Q2, Q3, and so on, Qn. Because n factorial divided by Q1 factorial into Q2 factorial. Q1 times particular object or letter repeated. So Q2 times a particular object or letters repeated. Like that you have to take. So that is 9 factorial divided by 2 factorial into 2 factorial. So that 1 factorial not necessary. So you take that repeated term only. So 1 factorial is 1. So you don't affect the calculation. So when you calculate by using calculator, you will get value 90,720. How many numbers can be formed with the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1? So that the odd digits always occupy odd places. Odd digits always occupied in odd places. Okay, so 7 digits are given. Using 7 digits, we have to form the 7-digit number. 7-digit number using all the numbers. We have to make it. So here, odd places. I mean, first place, third place, fifth place, seventh place. You have to use odd number only. What is that? Odd number only. How many odd numbers are there? So in the list, 1, 3, 3, 1. So 4 odd numbers are there. You have to use these 4 odd numbers. In the 4 odd numbers, 1 comes twice and 3 comes twice. So here the odd places occupied by the odd numbers. How many different ways you can make it? 4 numbers are available. So 4 factorial ways you can arrange it. In the 4 factorial, I mean 4 different ways, we have 2 numbers alike. I mean 1 twice and 3 twice. So that is 4 factorial divided by 2 factorial into 2 factorial. Similar kind of the last problem. So the previous one is in English letters. This one is in numbers. That's the difference. So how many permutation of A, B, C, D, E, F end with letter A? So how many permutation of A, B, C, D, E, F end with A? So total we have 6 letters. In the 6 letters, picking all the letters. So the final letter, okay. So in the permutation, final letter as a A. How many different permutation you can make? So that is A. That's the last letter of the word or string. Okay, so compulsorily last letter as a A. So that means only one way you can make it. Remaining 5 letters available. So remaining 5 letters without any restriction and no letter is repeated also. So there is 5 factorials you can apply the permutation. So there is 1 into 20, 120 that's equal to 120. This you can make it such a permutation. How many arrangements are there of all the vowels adjacent in the word sociological? From the given word sociological, the vowels are O, I, A. There are 6 vowels, so that means O thrice, 3 times, I twice, A once. So here, what is that? How many arrangements are there of all vowels as adjacent in the word? So that means this letter of the word sociological, we have to take that. So we are going to form the permutation. In the permutation, all the vowels are adjacent. Okay, that means they are together. Wherever they are, you are using vowels, they are adjacent together. Okay, adjacent or together. Okay, such a way that you have to find the permutation. So for that, they take the first step, all the vowels together. So arrange themselves. First, arrange themselves the vowels. So total number of vowels are what? So there is 6 letters are there. So 6 factorial they can arrange themselves. Vowels arrange themselves. In that, 3 O's are there. So there is 3 factorial. two i's are there, so that is 2 factorial in the denominator. So that one 60. So that is vowels arrange themselves. Vowels arrange themselves corresponding permutation 60. Next, we have letters, I mean consonants, non-vowels, S, E, L, G, C, L. Okay, so remaining consonants. So remaining consonants plus vowels, take it up and arrange it. Okay, arrange it. Consider all the vowels as a single letter, single group. Then only you can make it as an adjacent. Whether they are coming as a first letter, I mean first one, as a group. Okay, then only you can make it as a vowels are adjacent. So in that, how many letters are repeated? So there is C repeated, L repeated. Okay, so total consider there is a 7 letter. Okay, so as per that we can understand. So 6 consonant plus 7th letter consider as a collection. The collection, what is it? Vowels. So hence 7 letters are available. 7 factorial ways you can arrange it in the 7 factorial. Some letters are alike. So that is C twice and L twice. So that is 2 factorial, 2 factorial. Okay, so don't worry about the vowels. So vowels separate arrangement separately we already calculated. Okay, so there don't think vowels repeated term. So there is 7 factorial divided by 2 factorial will get 1260. So now multiply these two. So that means first vowels arrange vowels are set together, and that is 1260. And vowels arrange themselves. I mean permutation of the vowels, that is 60. So multiply it, we will get the answer as 1260 multiplied, that is 75,600. So how many ways can a simple A, B, C, D and 5 E's are there can be arranged? No E's are adjacent to other E. Okay, so that means simple. They're telling it as a simple, otherwise string, otherwise as a word without meaning. Like that, how many different ways you can arrange? I mean permutation. Arrange means permutation, selection and arrange. Okay, so the word arrangement. Okay, selection and arrangement, permutation. These are the keywords to apply the permutation. So that is we have 4 different letters A, B, C, D. Remaining 5 E's are there, and the condition is the E's are not adjacent. Okay, E's should not be adjacent. So we have other letters, 4 letters available. So in between you have to fix the E. Then only you can make it E is not adjacent. Okay, so hence in between of A, B, C, D we have 5 places. So the 5 places we can fix E. So that is one way you can make it. Those 4 letters they can arrange themselves. Those 4 letters A, B, C, D arrange themselves. That is, I mean, permutation themselves. 4 factorial ways you can make it. So that is 24. So that is 24 into 1 is equal to 24. I mean, E arrange only one way because E can occupy only those 5 places in between of 4 letters A, B, C, D. Okay, then only you can make it no E's are adjacent. There are 6 books on commerce, 3 books on economics, and 2 books on history. In how many ways can these books be placed on shelf if books on the same subject are to be together? Same subject, that means commerce subject together, economic subject together, history subject together. So that way you have to keep it and keep it in the shelf also. Any order, okay, that means first commerce, then economics, then history. Otherwise, in the order shelf, economics, commerce, history, like that you have to place. And the commerce book means 6 are not same title book. Okay, keep it in mind. Similarly, 3 economics book, 3 different author, 3 different title book, like that you have to think. So how many ways they can arrange themselves? That means 3 different title. So that means commerce, economics, and history. 3 factorial ways they can be placed in the shelf. So first one, 3 title, 3 factorial ways you can place it 3 factorial ways. Next, individual title arrange with themselves. I mean individual subjects. That means individual subjects arrange themselves. So that means 6 commerce books are there. There is 6 factorial ways. 3 economic books are there. 3 factorial ways it can be arranged. And 2 history books are there. 2 factorial ways you can arrange. Okay. All these 3 titles, I mean subject books, that is 3 factorial ways. Multiply all this. I mean, all the things can happen simultaneously. Okay, so there is 3 factorial, 6 factorial, 3 factorial into 2 factorial. Multiply all this, that is 51,480 as the answer. Okay. In how many ways 5 gents and 3 ladies may be seated in a row such that 2 ladies cannot sit together? So there are 5 gents and 3 ladies. Okay, so the condition is what? No 2 ladies sit together, cannot sit together. Such a way that you have to make the arrangement. Okay, so that is therefore 5 gents without any restriction. The arrangement is 120. 5 factorial 120 ways you can arrange it. So 3 ladies are there, but they should not sit together. So in between gents, you have to put a seating for 3 ladies. So in between of 5 gents, we have 6 occupants. 6 vacant places are there. There you can allocate 3 ladies. So that is 63 ways you can arrange. So there is 6 factorial divided by 6 minus 3 factorial. So that is nothing but 6 factorial divided by 3 factorial. There is 120 ways you can make it. So that is multiply these two. So that is gents. I mean, no 2 ladies can be seated together among 5 gents and 3 ladies. So the corresponding permutations 14,400. Okay. In how many ways 9% can be seated in a round table? So there is n minus 1 factorial, there is 8 factorial. So in the round table, cyclic permutation, we have to use. So no trick. So next you see it, a company has 10 software engineers and 6 civil engineers. In how many ways can they be seated in a round table so that all the civil engineers do not sit together? The total engineers 10 plus 6, total person 10 plus 6 equal to 60. So they sit in the round table without any restriction. That is n minus 1 factorial. That is 16 minus 1 factorial way. They can be seated. That is 15 factorial. What is that? 15 factorial ways you can arrange it. Okay, so cyclic permutation. And here the question is what? How many ways can be seated in the round table so that all civil engineers do not sit together? Do not sit together. That means in between you should allocate compulsorily a software engineers. Okay, no 2 civil engineers sit together. Such a way that we have to make it. So here, if the civil engineers are together, consider as a one engineer. That means as a group, wherever you placed, okay, consider as a together. So that means person 10 software engineer plus 1 civil engineer group. So there is 10 plus 1, consider as 11% minus 1 factorial. So that is 10 factorial ways you can arrange. Next, so civil engineers arrange themselves. Okay, so they are together. Okay, they are together. Then arrange themselves. So there is 6 factorial ways you can make it. So multiply these two. So there is 10 factorial into 6 factorial. So here, what is it? All the civil engineers are together. Corresponding permutation we are identifying. So there is 10 factorial into 6 factorial ways we can make it such a arrangements. So now in the round table, so total, what is it? No 2 civil engineers are together. So for this total probability without any restriction, there is 15 factorial minus if all the civil engineers are together, the corresponding permutation or arrangement value subtracted, you will get the suitable answer. What is suitable answer? No civil, 2 civil engineers are together. So there is 15 factorial minus 10 factorial into 6 factorial. So we can use calculator and find the value. So now combination problems. In how many ways we can select a committee of 4 students out of 12 students? Okay, selecting a committee, those kind of problems will come under the combination. So here only selection. Okay, Okay, selection. So no arrangements. Arrangements are not getting any value in combination. Okay, so that is a 430 from the students 12. We have to form. There is no any trick in this problem. So direct one. So there is 12C4. So there is n factorial divided by r factorial into n minus r factorial. Using the formula, we are getting it as a 495 as the answer. So this one is a very casual and usual example for understanding the combination. In how many ways can a cricket team of 11 players be chosen out of 15 players? One person is always there in the list of 11 players. Exclude two person in the list of 11 players. Okay, the suppose it's given. So first one is how many different ways choose 11 players out of 15. So no restriction. So that is a 15C11. So that is 15 factorial divided by 11 factorial into 15 minus 11 factorial. Simplify, you will get the value of the combination. So this 1365. So second one is one person is always there in the list of 11 players. So assuming like a captain. So for a cricket team, captain should be there always in the selection. So hence remain one person in the selection compulsorily you have to select. So remaining 10 person only you have to choose from the remaining players. So that means you have to subtract from total as well as 11. Okay, that is C of n minus k comma r minus k. Okay, using that formula, so you will get C of 14 comma 10. I mean 14C10. Okay, so that is 14 factorial divided by 10 factorial into 14 minus 10 factorial. Simplify, you will get 1001 as an answer. So how many 1001 ways you can choose such a team? Okay. So k equal to 2. I mean the number of ways selecting 11 out of 15 excluding two particular players. So the excluding two particular players means if injuries happen automatically, we have to eliminate two players, whether he is a captain or any player. So we have to exclude from the selection. So that is we have to exclude those two persons. So that means 15 in the total we have to exclude, and from the remaining players we have to select the 11. So that is 13C11. So as for the formula, C of n minus k comma r, that's equal to C of 15 minus 2 comma 11. So that is 13C11. 13 factorial divided by 11 factorial into 15 minus 13 factorial. Simplify, you will get as 78. Suppose that a department consists of 10 men and 15 women. How many ways are there to form a committee with 6 members if it must have more women than men? More women than men. In the 6-member committee, we have to form. Okay, without any restriction, we can make it. So here our calculation here in the selection of the committee should have more women than men. So that means at least one man should be there. So that is, we take it up out of 6-member committee, one man remaining women. So that is 15C5. So 5 members and the 6-member committee, 5% from women group, one man from the men group. So that is 15C5 into 10C1 plus 15C4 into 10C2. Okay, that means 4 women from 15 women, second 2 men from 10 men. So here also more women than men. So total 6, the 6, 4 women, 2 men. So here also satisfies the condition, more women than men. Next calculation will not come, that means 15C3 plus into 10C3 because both equal. Okay, so there should be compared, at least one man should be there. So these are two possibilities. Okay, these are the two possibilities. So corresponding combination, when you find it, selection, so that is 91,455, you will get as an answer. A gym coach must select 11 seniors to play on football team. If we can make this selection, 12,376 ways, how many seniors are eligible to play. So here total number of days given, how many persons are available for the selection, it is asked. Okay, so that is nothing but NCR. NCR is equal to n factorial divided by r factorial into n minus r factorial. So r equal to 11. So 11 members need for the equality. So that is NC11 is equal to 12,376 is given. So we have to find what is the value of n. So this n factorial divided by 11 factorial into n minus 11 factorial is equal to 12,376. So for this, when you put n equal to 17, it will satisfy the condition. So 17 factorial divided by 11 factorial into 17 minus 11 factorial, you will get 12,376. Okay. PGN hole principle. If m PGNs occupy n PGN holes and if m greater than n, then two or more PGNs occupy the same PGN holes. Okay, so easily understandable. So m PGNs, n PGN holes. Here m number of PGN is greater than number of PGN holes. So then at least what is that? One poles will have two or more PGNs. That is the meaning. So the extended PGN hole principle formula is m minus 1 divided by n plus 1 PGNs. So if m PGNs assigned to n PGN holes, then one of the PGN holes must contain at least n minus 1 divided by n plus 1 PGNs. So very important application of the problem. So from this you can understand. Show that if 8 colors are used to paint 65 cars, at least 9 cars will be having the same color. So that is n equal to 8, so n is equal to 65. So by extended PGN hole principle, the number of cars having the same color. The number of cars having same color at least is 65 minus 1 divided by n plus 1. So that is 9. So that means you have to share equally. So 65 by 8, when you do it, you will get one car extra. So that car should assign any one of the 8 colors. That's the meaning. So using that extended PGN hole principle, you get directly that value. So remaining colors will continue. Okay, so with 8 cars. Okay, that is the meaning. 8 into 8, 64. Okay, 8 into 8. Each colors will have 8 colors. Next, one more car will be there additionally because 65 cars are there. That one car should allocate any one of the 8 colors. So that means what? At least one color have 9 cars. That's the meaning. Okay. Show that 30 dictionaries in a library contains total 61,327 pages. When one of the dictionaries must have 2045. So here everything you have to think like equally like share. Like that you have to think. So there is extended PGN hole principle formula when you use it. That is m minus 1 divided by n plus 1. So that formula we have to use it. So that is a 61,327 minus 1 divided by 30 plus 1. So you will get as a 2045. So remaining, you will get remaining dictionaries having 2044 pages. That is the meaning. Show that at least 9 students born in the same month out of 100 students. So here, there's also using the pigeon hole principle, not in the real case. So that is m equal to 100 students. So here total months available, that is n equal to 12. Okay. So there is m minus 1 divided by 12. So that least 9 students may born in same month. Principle of inclusion exclusion. If we have two sets, modulus of A1 union A2 is equal to modulus of A1 plus modulus of A2 minus modulus of A1 intersect A2. If it is for three sets, you will get modulus of A1 union A2 union A3 is equal to A1 plus modulus of A1 plus modulus of A2 plus modulus of A3 minus modulus of A1 intersect A2 minus modulus of A1 intersect A3 minus modulus of A2 intersect A3 plus modulus of A1 intersect A2 intersect A3. So this one, when you extend it, you will get the formula like this: modulus of A1 union A2 union A3 union and so on A union AN, that's equal to summation 1 less than I less than n, that is modulus of AI, summation 1 less than I less than j less than n, that is modulus of AI intersect AJ, plus summation 1 less than I less than j less than k less than n, that is modulus of AI intersect AJ intersect AK minus and so on, minus 1 for n modulus of AI intersect AJ intersect AK intersect and so on. AN is the general formula. Okay, more sets involving, we have to use this formula. Okay, maximum we may get 3 or 4 sets only. So there are 345 students in a college who have taken course in physics, and 220 have taken mathematics, 175 have taken course in physics and mathematics. Find the number of students who have taken course either in physics or in mathematics. So it's like a Venn diagram, but Venn diagram type problem. So here we are using a little bit different way. So A1, A2 denote the number of students taken the course physics and mathematics respectively. So that is modulus of A1 is equal to 345, modulus of A2 is equal to 220. So there is a modulus of A1 intersect A2 is equal to 175 given in the problem itself. So by the principle, either total number of students take the course either in physics or mathematics. That is nothing but modulus of A1 union A2 is the formula. So that is substitute it, you will get, that means 345 plus 220 minus 175, that's equal to 390. So 390 person take the course either physics or mathematics. So this kind of problems you may expect the important. So that how many integers between 1 and 30? I mean 1 to 300. Sorry, 1 to 300 are divisible by at least one of the integers and divisible by none of 5, 6, 8. Okay, so consider A, B, C denote the number of integers which are divisible by 5, 6, 8. Okay, so which are divisible by 5, 6, 8. Total numbers 300. So total number 300, from 1 to 300, how many numbers divisible by 5? So identify modulus of A is equal to 300 by 5. So the 60 numbers divisible by 5. Next modulus of B is equal to 300 by 6. So 50 numbers divisible by 6. Then modulus of C is equal to 300 divided by 8. So that is equal to 37. That means 37 numbers divisible by 8 from 1 to 300. Okay. So that is divisible by 5 and 6. That is modulus of A intersect B is equal to 300 divided by 5 into 6. That's equal to 10. Next, A intersect C, that's equal to 300 by 5 into 8. That is 7 numbers divisible by both 5 and 8. Next, modulus of B intersect C equal to 300 by 6 and 8. It's equal to 6 numbers divisible by both 6 and 8. And the modulus of A intersect B intersect C is equal to 300 by 5 into 6 into 8. That's equal to 1. Okay, so one number divisible by both, all the three numbers, 5, 6, 8. So by the principle of inclusion and exclusion, the number of integers which are divisible by at least one of the numbers 5, 6, 8. That is modulus of A union B union C is equal to formula modulus of A plus modulus of B plus modulus of C minus modulus of A intersect B minus modulus of A intersect C minus modulus of B intersect C plus modulus of A intersect B intersect C. So corresponding values, when you substitute, you will get value 125. So given question is not asked any one of the, I mean from 1 to 300 divisible by any one of the numbers, either 6, 5, 6, 8. They ask none of 5, 6, 8. Divisible by none of 5, 6, 8. So hence corresponding complement we have to find. So that is A complement intersect B complement intersect C complement. That's equal to n minus modulus of A union B union C. So that is 300 minus 125. So that is 175. Okay. Similar kind of problem. So how many integers in the sets 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on 360 have at least one prime divisor in common with 360? Okay. So here take it up three prime divisors, that is 2, 3, 5 respectively. So that means 1, 2, 3 to 600. 1, 2, 3 and so on to 360. So that is any one of the at least have one prime divisors in common with 360. So that is modulus of A1 union A2 union A3. So that is using set inclusion exclusion concept. That is A1 is divisible by 2. So 2, 3, 5 are prime numbers. So 180 numbers divisible by 2. Next 360 divided by 3. So 120 numbers divisible by 3. Next 360 by 5. 72 numbers divisible by 5. So my modulus of A1 intersect A2 is equal to 360 by 2 into 3, that's equal to 60. Then modulus of A1 intersect A3, that's equal to 360 by 2 into 5, that's equal to 6. Then A2, modulus of A2 intersect A3 is equal to 360 divided by 3 into 5, that's equal to 24. And the modulus of A1 intersect A2 intersect A3, that's equal to 360 divided by 2 into 3 into 5, that's equal to 12. So that is three elements set inclusion exclusion formula. So that is modulus of A1 union A2 union A3 is equal to modulus of A1 plus modulus of A2 plus modulus of A3 minus modulus of A1 intersect A2 minus modulus of A1 intersect A3 minus modulus of A2 intersect A3 plus modulus of A1 intersect A2 intersect A3, that is equal to 264. So 264 such a numbers having at least one prime divisor. Okay. Now see the problem. 1, 2, 360 have at least one prime divisors in common with 360. Okay. So 264 such a numbers will have at least one common prime divisors with the 300. Okay. So thank you. We'll continue in the next class.